And that's the power of love. Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Cozy Little Book Club. I'm your host, Taylor, and Boo will not be joining us today because he is on timeout. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. I am so happy to say that I am officially back in my romantic era. The book we're talking about today is 7 Days in June by Tia Wiliams. I'm so excited to talk about this book because it was so beautiful. I read the book a while back, so I don't have the book to show you physically, but I will insert a picture of the book cover right here so you can all see it. Boo has freed himself from timeout, so I guess he will be joining us today. June is my favorite month, and it happens to be my birth month, and it's always just a good month to kick off the summer. Everybody's really happy, it's sunny, it's a great feeling, so I knew that with it having the month of June in the title that it was going to be a good book, and boy was I correct. I'm so excited to tell you all about it. Let's get into it. While the cover is simple, I think it's nice because it shows exactly what it's about. Love stories, Black love story, we love to see it. And I'm really excited to talk to you all about this book. Now, I do have so many great things to say about this book, but I do want to give a bit of a trigger warning because this book does deal with addiction, self-harm, and wrongful imprisonment. I did want to throw that out there in case you all do decide to read this book for yourselves. But with that, okay, Boo's getting ready. But with that, let's get into the book. The book starts off with Eva Mercy, a 32-year-old novelist and single mother who is on the verge of dying by sex toy. Talk about starting with a bang. Or, in her case, talk about starting with a buzz. Yeah. After narrowly escaping death, she attends a panel later in the day. Unbeknownst to her, her long-lost teenage lover and fellow novelist, 32-year-old Shane Hill, joins the stage and shakes up her world. I mean, quite literally. Eva has a silent disability that causes her to have great amounts of pain throughout her body, but especially throughout her head, which causes her to have these intense and very painful migraines. She's had a day. She has had a day. It's something she's dealt with since early childhood, and it was really a challenge for her growing up with doctors not knowing how to help or cure her. I wanted to throw that out there because it is important to the story, so just keep that little tidbit. Anyway, we don't know it at the time, but it is revealed that Shane and Eva had a very turbulent past history that was filled with love, drugs, disappointment, and abandonment. Pretty early on, we learned that Shane is a recovering alcoholic, and now that he's been sober for 2 years, he's looking to make things right and make a better impact on the world. Here at the Cozy Little Book Club, we love people taking ownership of their past wrongdoings. That's called growth. After seeing each other for the first time in 15 years, there's a flood of emotions happening. And along with that, a bunch of new life changes as well. For example, Eva has a very independent, spunky, and intelligent 12-year-old by the name of Aubrey who gives life advice to her classmates and even some of her older peers. And Shane is an award-winning novelist recluse. A lot has changed. And even though more than a decade has passed, the spark between them is still as intense as ever. But it wasn't easy for either of them to let each other back into their lives. Between their pain, their grief, their underlying love story is riddled with a lot of unsaid things that don't even get revealed until many years later. I should mention that their romance when they were kids only lasted a week. That is an important aspect of the story. Over the course of the book, they face their fears of reconnecting, pushing past them, and indulging in a whirlwind romance yet again. But it doesn't come easy for the two of them. Eva struggles with her fear of vulnerability and abandonment, while Shane struggles with his inner demons and battles against his addiction. Despite the obstacles they face, they recognize that their connection is as strong as ever. And that's the power of love. The novel concludes with Eva and Shane coming to grips with their past and embracing the possibility of a future together. So cute. Their love story is an exploration on the complexities of relationships, and the enduring power of true connection. There really weren't things that I disliked about this book. I really enjoyed this story, but I enjoyed it for a number of reasons. First, I thought it was really beautifully well written. I thought they had a mix of both sensual and steamy, sad and turbulent, beautiful and lovey-dovey, and ultimately I thought it was a very well-rounded story. I think this book really did a great job of showing how intense your feelings are surrounding your first love, and it honestly made me think about my own first love, minus the drug addictions. Mostly it just reminded me how big your emotions are when you first love someone, when you're young and in love. You're just so intensely close to these feelings, and they can be really overwhelming at times. So I really related to that. But basically what I'm getting at is everything is a big freaking deal when you're young and in love, and it's very intense. Second, there's a lot of strong and brilliant Black people in this book. Eva really is resilient, smart, interesting, complex, but still soft. Her manager Cece had a way of connecting people and her brilliant ideas, or her schemes as they would call it in the book. Shane was also incredible by overcoming an addiction and really trying to be a pillar in his community for the youth. I really, really loved that. I also want to give a shout out to Ava's daughter Audrey. She was really so smart and so well-rounded and really in tune for a 12-year-old. And even though she was super inquisitive and very nosy, she still maintained her childlike innocence. And I think that is something to be cherished, especially in such a fast-paced, fast-moving world that we live in. So I really enjoyed her character as well. I honestly wish that kids could keep that a lot longer, but that's a conversation for another day. Third, I really liked how Tia went between flashbacks and the present day, because I think anytime a book or any story uses a flashback, I think it really kind of, obviously it's to help propel the story and add more substance and extra details. But I think that the way that they did it, or the way that she did it, was really impactful because she didn't throw them in every time. And so as you're reading, you have questions. You're like, why are they like this? What's the problem? But then she would kind of sprinkle them in. And I think that kept me really engaged and kept me wanting to know more about the story. Even though I've never really called myself a lover girl, I fully embraced it while reading this because I really loved their love story. I thought it was beautiful, and I think it was intense and scary and not easy. And I think that is really how a lot of relationships are. Even though it was scary for the two of them to come back together after so many years, it didn't even matter how long that time apart really happened. They just snapped right back together. And that really shows a testament of when you know, and your person is for you. So I thought that was really beautiful. And I'm not gonna lie, I did shed like a tear or two. It was really beautiful. And typically I wouldn't say that I'm not a fan of not spinning the block, but it just made sense for them. And if it made sense and it was on the way to being healthy, which it did, then I'm all for it. And I will honestly say that some of those parts kind of felt familiar in my own life. So I think that was another reason why I really liked this book. It was very que romantica, and it was really cute. Now, I know I've said intensity a lot during this review, but I do enjoy how intense it was, but it didn't stop the fact that what was actually happening in the book is that they were both very damaged, hurt people who were self-medicating. And while I love the intensity between Ava and Shane while they were younger and when they reconnected, I think the book did a really good job of depicting people who self-medicate. People self-medicate for a number of reasons. Ava abused drugs and pills to rid herself of the pain that she was feeling with her sickness, as well as the things that she was dealing with at home. While Shane was abusing alcohol and drugs because he was a foster kid and he felt unworthy of love and safety. There were definitely some difficult moments while reading this. And I'm not gonna lie, as I was getting to the end of the book, Tia really got me because I was ready to fight. I was like, what kind of ending is this? But I'm glad I stuck through it because it was really beautiful at the end. So I'm not going to hold you, Tia. You really got me. You really had me in the first half. You really did. I thought it was going to be a very sad and unfulfilling ending, but it was really beautiful and dreamy. Overall, I will say that this was a very beautiful book. Let's count how many times I said beautiful and intense in this. Overall, I thought it was a very dreamy and romantic book, and I'm so excited that I'm back in my romance era. I love to be swooned, but I love to be swooned by words, okay? Like, very Gemini of me. I give this book a resounding 5 out of 5 golden bookmarks. It was refreshing, it had me on my toes, and I cannot stop saying the word beautiful when I think of this book, and it was really nice to read. Well, that wraps up another episode of the Cozy Little Book Club. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you made it to the end, please be sure to comment with a little stack of books emoji in the comment section. And if you've read the book, please let me know what you did or didn't like about the book. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified anytime that we upload. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day. And remember, when you open a book, you open your mind. Until next time, peace. No, keep it this way. Yeah. Okay. I am a smiley motherfucker, bro. Okay. I really like I belong in the 80s. Moo's so annoying. He's so annoyed. He's a cute though.